guys, I'm David. I'll be running Air Ride, so we'll be basically I'll be playing through all 9 tracks in time attack mode, and the special restriction is I won't use any vehicle more than once. So 60 different vehicles, so we'll be using 9 of them. Each vehicle is kind of picked based on the course, which I'll go into more later, but the couch can go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Mr. Shasta. I just ran Fusion on stream.
Hi, I'm Helix. I like this game a lot.
I like this game a lot too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. So I'll just be playing through track order. Technically, we can run it in any order, but for the sake of marathon, I'll just do it in order. So I can go and get started if you guys are ready. I can give a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. So if you've never played Air Ride before, this game has one button and it plays itself. So basically, the only button that there is the A button, and it does everything. It handles using power-ups, sucking up enemies. It handles the boost meter in the bottom right. Helps me turn. Helps me slow down. Literally does everything. And then I just use the joystick for everything else. So it's a pretty neat game. It's like a little spin-off game for the GameCube. It's like the only Kirby game released on the GameCube, which is strange because it's not a normal Kirby game.
It's so wild.
But
hey, David. Could you switch to the purple Kirby?
oh, right. I completely forgot about that. Well,
it's all good.
We restart. Okay.
Habit, right?
There we go.
Yeah, incentive. I totally forgot about that.
Do you
Yeah.
want to just like restart the timer?
Yeah, may as well.
Let's do it.
Take 2.
Just rewind our commentary real quick.
Yeah. Thank you for
We
picking
rehearsed,
Purple
we
Kirby.
scripted this.
You get more fantasy meadows. Anyway, I guess I'm ready again. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah!
Correct Kirby color this time. Let's go.
Yeah. So this game has 8 different Kirby colors. It's pretty sick. There's like 4 that comes with, like the default pink, blue, red, yellow, and then there's 4 more unlocks, which are all like pretty good colors. There's like white, brown, green, and purple.
Purple's the fastest though.
Yeah, true.
They're all cosmetic.
No, purple's the fastest.
Oh yeah, never mind, you're right, my bad.
It's scientifically proven. I can't speak.
But yes.
Scientists have proven it.
So the vehicle that we use per course is kind of dependent on a couple things. One of them is basically how long the course is. So longer courses are more likely to want to use faster vehicles because they'll save more time. And this is a fairly short course, so we're using... This is probably the worst vehicle that we use in the run. This is such a short course, it works out. And it does kind of play to its strength. So Formula Star basically moves fast in a single straight line, and the course doesn't have that many turns, so... for Celestial Valley here, I'm going to be using Jetstar. This is one of the best vehicles in the game. It gets a burst of speed whenever it catches air. So like I just boosted and caught air going down that slope and had a burst of speed, and then basically going to try and get a bunch of them throughout the course. As soon as I catch air, I drop back to the ground because my speed retention is better on the ground than in the air. And it also allows me to get more speed boosts. So we call them jet dashes, just because Jetstar. And so pretty much as we glide along the ground at certain places, we can chain to get like a bunch and go really fast. It's a pretty technical vehicle, I would say. And this course is perfect for it because it's got a lot of like little hills and lumps and stuff. So there's a lot of places to get them. So something interesting, like per lap, the enemy spawns are actually different. So, well, it'll depend more for some vehicles than others. Each lap, oops, that bridge likes to bounce you backwards. It's kind of strange, but each lap handles, or like you drive a little bit differently because of the different enemies. And a pretty important mechanic for this game is killing enemies gives you a temporary burst of speed, and it's actually like it's a pretty large speed boost, so it's pretty important. So trying to kill enemies is like an important part of the run. So certain power-ups we're going to aim for, like we're usually going to be wanting to use the sword a lot because Kirby just automatically slashes if there's anything in front of him. And so it's pretty easy to use. There's a few other power-ups we'll use here and there, though. Kill too many enemies there, that Cappy spawns in the middle. But if you don't kill enough enemies, then it doesn't, so I forget about it sometimes. And then every time I'm on a fast run, it spawns, and then I hit it, and I slow down and lose the run. Speaking of which, this is a pretty good run. Anything sub 210 is pretty solid, and I'm on pace for that, so... Also, those green pads, if you just press A on them, you get a boost. You can actually press A twice and get a boost, get like 2 boosts. I don't know if it was an oversight, but it's pretty useful.
So without the restriction of like using different vehicles for every track, what vehicle would you use for most of the tracks instead?
Yeah, so I would use Wheelie Scooter for most of them. It's got some pretty cool tech to it. It moves really fast. Gets a lot of speed from killing enemies. Gets a lot of speed from catching air. We'll use them on the second to last course because it's the longest course. So you'll see that. It's pretty fun vehicle to watch. Here on Sky Sands, we're going to be using Swerve Star. This is everyone's favorite casual vehicle because it's really easy to use and it's really fast.
Can't confirm, I love this one.
Yep, same.
Yeah, I loved it too. Pretty much it moves at a constant speed in a straight line, and it can't turn unless you press A, which causes you to completely stop instantly, and then you can turn. But it's got like a little mechanic where if you spin and turn and charge, or if you just like spin towards a wall, you'll kind of bounce along it and get a little bit of extra speed. So like normally I'll move at like 50, 51 kilometers an hour, but if I'm spinning against a wall, I can get up over 60, or like around 60 or so. So we kind of like route which walls we spin on. Also, I'm going to be grabbing this wheel power up here. Wheel gets a lot of speed from killing enemies and catching air. So in a few places where there's air to catch and enemies to kill, like right through there, I'll use it, and then it wears off right around there. There's actually no way to get rid of a power up early if you don't want it. So if I was to accidentally suck up a wheel when I didn't want it, it's pretty bad. It's not an issue with this course, but like in regular all tracks, when I'm using Wheelie Scooter, it's an issue. You have to be careful and avoid them. If you suck them up, you just lose the run, basically. Same thing applies with the bird power-up, which isn't used anywhere in this run. It's like super slow, so I'll be trying to avoid bird power-ups whenever I can.
The bird power-up is the one I don't like casually, so yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. It's weird because it's really good in like other Kirby games, but in Air Ride it's okay.
Yeah, it's really good for gliding, so if you're just like kind of playing around casually and want to fly around, it's pretty cool. It's got like really good aerial handling, it flies pretty well, but it's not good for going fast. So like right there, I was pressing A to turn, and since Kirby just saw the fire pig in front of him, he tried to suck him up, just because one button does everything. So that is something we have to like really be careful of, especially with vehicles that need to press A to turn, which Swerve Star needs to, but a lot of vehicles kind of rely on it because they can't turn sharp enough just with like standard turning. So coming up, this is one of the wildest ones that we do. So we use Slick Star. So if you ever used this vehicle before, it handles like a wet bar of soap or like a warm stick of butter. It just doesn't turn unless if you charge up a boost and release it in a direction, you'll turn in that new direction. So that's pretty much the only way to turn consistently. But it works out because basically we can use that and we can chain boosts by just kind of snaking back and forth like that, like I did do there. So I'm pretty much going to be spending like the whole time as best I can, just kind of charging and turning and trying to maintain speed as when possible.
Dale.
Oh yeah, shout outs to Dale. He's on my shirt here. He's the whole community's favorite enemy. He's our boy. He was an enemy that was created just for this game, and he's originally supposed to be like a power-up that would light up caves, and they kind of scrapped that idea. So now he's just like a default enemy. He's only in this game.
Allegedly, it's in Kirby Canvas Curse as well.
Yeah, I guess he's like in one of the mini games there. I've never seen it, but
I think it's like the level 3 version of like the payroller one, if I recall. But like I never played that one. The game's really hard.
But yeah, so they just kind of hang out here. They're again no power-ups, so they're just an enemy to kill for speed. But they are pretty useful. So shout outs to Dale.
Shout out to Dale.
Also, there's a really cool slide strat I can do there, where if I hit that wall at just the right speed, I kind of slip past it instead of stopping, which I was going for. Hopefully I can get it on lap 3. Slick Star, one of the reasons that we use it here is because it actually has really good speed retention, so the few places that you can pick up a bunch of speed, like when you go down that hillside and then at the end of the course, you can pick up a bunch of speed and like maintain it.
That's a pretty hot movement.
Yeah. That section right there is really weird because if you turn sideways, then the ice enemies kill you and it breaks your freeze, or it breaks your charge. But if I try and do what I did there, then if I like drive over the rising platform, it'll break my charge instead. So it's a little bit tough to handle. But so hopefully I can get this strat on lap 3 here. And we got it. Cool. Let's go.
Nice.
Well done.
This soundtrack's so good.
Oh yeah, I love this song soundtrack in particular. Well, really all of them, but Frozen Hillside's really good.
Absolutely.
It's a jam.
My favorite is Checker Knights, though.
Ooh, yeah. Checker Knights is good.
I love it.
Coming up on Magma, or in the Japanese name, Mag Heat.
Mag Heat.
Japanese.
My favorite evolution of Magmar.
We're going to be using Rocket Star here, which is actually the fastest vehicle here overall. It's faster than Scooter. Rocket Star gets a ton of speed when you charge up the boost, and the boost takes a while to charge up, but it also gets a lot of speed from killing enemies, and I did not mean to fall down here. I meant to land on that rail. But it gets a lot of speed from killing enemies, a lot of speed from boosts, a lot of speed from like releasing a charge. So it fits pretty well for this course because there's a lot of boosters. One big thing is that rail that I meant to land on, that moves on a cycle, so there's pretty much like a cycle I want to land on where it puts me in the middle path all 3 laps. I think I'm already missing it because that first lap was pretty slow. I might be able to recover it, but pretty much either of the side paths are quite a bit slower, so I want to try and avoid them. Especially the left path, which is only really an issue to hit if I go too fast. But I can end up on the right path if I go too slow. Like I might be on it here, I'm not sure. I don't know if I make this. Okay, I'll make it, okay. So I might be able to save that and get middle path for lap 3 as well. But yeah, so basically we've planned out like exactly where to boost in all these different places. Like when you're on a rail, you don't slow down as much when you're charging, so you can kind of like charge a boost to release right at the end of a rail. You charge around corners, and so on and so forth. So on lap 3 here, we're going kind of fast. We can just skip that boost that we go for there because there's enough enemies to kill. Gets us enough speed to make it through. And I barely made middle path. Cool. So this will probably be somewhere from like a 204 to a 206, which is pretty good. That's kind of what I aim for. It's pretty hard to get anything more than like a 202, because like I said, if you go too fast, you'll end up on the left path, which is cripplingly slow. But if you go incredibly fast, you can get over there when the path is still pointing in the middle from like the previous cycle, and that'll save like several seconds. I've never pulled it off, but
You keep getting 99 milliseconds in this course.
What
a gamer.
That happened on Colda too?
Yeah, and
Oh,
like
nice.
also the one before that I think as well.
Oh really?
Jeez.
Yeah.
What can I say?
You're just too good.
So this is Beanstalk Park, or Arun is the Japanese name, and they're using Turbostar.
Everyone's so good.
Turbostar handles very oddly. It turns slower the faster it's going. So if you're going fast, it's really hard to turn. But if you're like almost stopped, you turn like on a dime. So I don't know if you saw, like I did like a little turnaround at the start, because since I was going so slow, I could like instantly turn around. And the more turned you are, the faster the boost charges. So I was able to like charge an instant boost at the start. It's really hard to like explain everything with this vehicle. It's very strange. This is one of the.
I never liked it casually.
Yeah. So the way we routed this category is, like I was saying, we kind of took the fastest vehicles and stuck them where we felt like they would save the most time. And then some of the other courses we were just kind of left with some holes, and we had to figure out like what to fill there with vehicles that are fairly good. So like Turbostar's a decent mid-tier vehicle, and it happened to be rather good here. There's a Japanese IL community that has like really good IL times for like every course with every vehicle. Also, I really want to avoid that windmill, so I slowed down for it there. Pretty much we looked at that and saw that of all the vehicles left, this was like the best one. So we learned it. Shoutouts to Luca. He's the Japanese player who's incredibly good with Turbostar. He had the record for this category. I think he still has second place right now. But like primarily he just like used Turbostar, but now like he learned the whole run with all the different vehicles. But yeah, so routing this category was like super fun because we got to learn a bunch of different vehicles. The thing with all tracks is that we use Wheelie Scooter for most of it, like mentioned, and it is really fast, but it's just fun to use something else because the game has so many interesting vehicles. Every vehicle just handles like so uniquely, so I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's nice to see a category that shows off so many more aspects of the game rather than just the one vehicle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love all tracks. Like, it's definitely the most competitive category, and I like that a lot because, you know, going fast is fun and competing is fun, but it's definitely a nice change of pace.
Is there one track where you don't actually use Wheelie Scooter in all tracks?
Yeah, there's actually two. We don't use it on Fantasy or Magma. We use Rocket in both those cases.
Oh, neat.
And technically, you can use Jetstar for Celestial Valley and for Sky Sands. In fact, it's actually faster on Sky.
There it is again! What the heck? You're so good!
Back to back to back to back 1 in 60 tricks. Let's go.
Incredible.
Frame perfect every time.
Oh, this song too, by the way. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah, the song here. Yeah, it jams. So we got Machine Passage here, or Steel Organ.
Steel Organ.
We use some Wheelie Bike here, which is it handles quite a bit like the wheel power up. It's probably like the most normal handling vehicle in this game, other than like Warp Star, but it's just faster than Warp Star. It's pretty basic. I mean, you just boost around corners, try and pick up speed where you can. The big thing is that it loses speed pretty easily due to like mistakes, like hitting walls and stuff, or taking damage. So we have to be really careful about that, because all the speed that we gain is very precious from like killing enemies and boosters and stuff. Also, I barely missed that. There's a cycle for those jumps, and I was almost fast enough to hit that. And, oops. Catching air is quite a bit of speed, so it's pretty nice to hit. But so I was trying to hit that guy with that plasma, but I missed him. This plasma power up, you charge it by spinning the joystick, and then that turn's like kind of weird. You have to like come in with a certain amount of speed to get it, and normally I kill one of those spike enemies to get the speed, but I missed him there, so.
And each level in that meter is sort of a different version of that power up.
Yeah,
Fires
exactly.
a different style bullet.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this level 2 just kind of does like a little blast, like a big blast in front of me. Level 3 is like that, like the big blast that I was doing here. Yes. Level 4 fires like a homing shot, but it's not very useful. And then level 5 is like a gigantic plasma ball, but it's also not very useful. So pretty much the only ones I ever use are 2 and 3. 2 is nice if there's just like a bunch of enemies right in front of me, because even though like the level 3 goes further and is like faster, sometimes it'll miss enemies just because there's only 3 bolts. But with the level 2, it's pretty much impossible to hit anything in front of you.
This has got to be the most in-depth power up in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely up there.
Ah, close. Did you slow up the on purpose?
No.
Oh, I looked at you for a second.
So good times there are anything from like 210 to 212, so it was a little slow, but it wasn't too bad.
Best song in the game, by the way.
Yeah, so this is Check Night. This is what we're alluding to with Wheelie Scooter. It's got some interesting tech you can do with walls to go really fast. Going to be bumping into walls a lot, spinning and turning towards walls, charging and turning towards walls without spinning sometimes. It depends on the type of wall, but pretty much it's a trick called a spin dash, and it goes really fast. It's like pretty precise. You have to like hit the wall at like almost a 90-degree angle, and then you like while you're spinning, and then you charge and keep turning towards the wall, and you just zip along it super fast. It's really deep. There's like different methods for getting like good spin dash releases, so you can carry the speed as long as possible. None of that sword comes up and catches up to me. There's a little trick there that I just missed. You'll see it on lap 2. Pretty much allows me to carry the speed from these boosters super far. But I completely missed it. And it's actually like a very big time loss. So it's probably like 7 or 8 seconds. So it's a pretty big deal, but
I've been playing this game for so long, I don't think I ever knew about that shortcut.
which one? The one through the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the check boxes.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's neat.
Yeah, that's like win while breaking both the walls or something like that.
I'm guessing not getting that check box because like this is just a pre-completed file or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
I don't know if the file's actually completed, but it's completed of all the ones I could get during an all-tracks run at least. Yeah, the checkboxes in this game are like a super fun thing to do casually. I used to love just like completing the checklist. Okay, here's the trick I was going for. So if you catch air and drive over that little lump on the ground, then as long as you hold the charge, you just go really fast. And
Yeah.
yeah, you just kind of fly down that ending strip.
And okay, now it's really good.
Kind of saved that. These jumps are on a cycle. Usually on lap 1 I know where they're going to be. On lap 2, if my lap 1 was good, I usually know where they're going to be, but usually by lap 3 I kind of like lose track of the cycle, and it's kind of hard to get. So I just kind of have to react, and sometimes it's like super slow. Also, that wheel is annoying. Normally, if you do that section right, you just fly past him, but it's going a little slow there. So. Ending section was pretty good. So that was a little sloppy, but so let's check night. Pretty fun course, and since it's so long, that's why we use Wheelie Scooter. Anyway, coming up to the final course here is Nebula Bell. We're going to be using Bulk Star, which is definitely the most unexpected one of the run. And we start by driving backwards like that. Which is this neat that there's actually 2 places we turn around in this run. But the reason for that is kind of has to do with how this vehicle works. It doesn't drive on its own, but it just gets speed from using its boost as fuel. And when the boost or when the fuel's burning, it just constantly gains speed. So if you start at a higher speed, you'll get up to a higher end speed. So instead of starting from like on flat ground, we can start at like 20 kilometers an hour. If you go off a jump, you gain speed as you fall. So you land at like 40 plus, and you can get up to like 105 kilometers an hour, and pretty much you just use that to change from boost to boost. So it saves so much time that it's faster at the start to turn around and lose several seconds to go back to the jump than it is to just drive.
It's really to me how it's like such a fast vehicle for its run, considering like I really hate this one casually because it's so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this vehicle's like impossible to use casually, but for the run, it's pretty sick. It's also fun because you get to just kind of stare at Kirby.
Kirby. he's hanging in there right now.
It does kind of feel like a fitting finale.
Yeah, it's also, for me, it's pretty consistent. I usually get like around a 222 to 224, depending on how good my jumps were. So it's like a nice way. I usually end the run with this course, just because it's kind of a consistent way to end it.
So can you take the courses in any order?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm just doing it in track order for the marathon, just because.
Yeah, that
but
makes sense.
Pretty much like when I'm running, I'll put the hardest courses first, or the ones I struggle the most with, and like can save or lose the most time.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
So. But yeah, it's a super fun game to get into. It's pretty easy to just do a run. Like I mentioned, the game plays itself. Like I'm not pressing any buttons right now. I'm barely steering. There's actually a no inputs like meme that some people have worked on, and every course can be completed with at least one vehicle without doing any inputs. So that's always an option. But yeah, you can literally just pick up the game and just play. Like you've never needed to play before.
Is there a no inputs, no dupes category?
Well, it's not really even a category because we don't have it. Also, coming up time. Sorry,
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. Just staring at Kirby instead of paying attention. But I don't think we have like a specific category for it, but it's technically just a thing you can do.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so that was Air Ride. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun. Thanks for Midwest Speed Fest for having me. Thanks to both of you for being on the couch and
Heck yeah.
hanging out with me.
Thanks for allowing me to join on no notice.
Thanks for playing Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, shoutouts to Kirby. And check out Fi's run next. My boy, Fibat, is running F-Zero AX. That'll be fun. So,
Very fast racing game as well.
see you guys later.